Good afternoon. Welcome to the Committee of 70's Studio C70. My name is Clarissa Griebel. I'm the Director of Advancement for the Committee of 70. I am here with Jasmine Sessoms, who is the Chief Engagement Officer at the Community College of Philadelphia, and Michelle Lopez, who's the Director of the Institute. Oh, sorry, I got to pop up. The Director of the Institute for Community Engagement and Civic Leadership. Welcome. Sorry for that a little false start there. We are so happy to have you. Would you guys like to tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are? We can start with Jasmine.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having us. I've been the longtime fan of Committee of 70. Today is election day. Definitely my Super Bowl voting is one of my favorite things. So I serve as their Chief Engagement Officer at CCP, and I'm responsible for some community outreach, workforce development, but most importantly, government relations.
Michelle?
Yeah, I'm Michelle Lopez. I am, as you mentioned, the director for the Institute for Community Engagement and Civic Leadership at Community College of Philadelphia. Been at the college for going on, 7 years. And in my role, we actually oversee the CCP Votes voter engagement program,
Wonderful.
among many other things.
Well, I see the sun just came out, so it means that everybody's voting and we're going to have the best turnout we've ever had. So to start that off, how does your university engage students in voter registration and participation leading up to elections?
Michelle, why don't you take it and I'll talk about elected officials.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I previously mentioned, one of the many programs within my area is the CCP Votes program. It is our democratic engagement program. And what that means for us is that year long, we are engaging students with voter registration efforts, with get out the vote efforts, with understanding their government through civics workshops. So all academic year long, we don't take any breaks. We are always getting the message out there that it is important to use your voice. It is important to make informed decisions. And we really celebrate all the civic holidays. That's part of how we do it. We keep it exciting, we keep it fun, and we try to engage our students every step of the way. We do that through fellowship programs where our students are leading the programming and ensuring that there's student voice in everything that we do. So that's a little bit of an overview of how it runs at Community College of Philadelphia. And we kick off every academic year with our National Voter Registration Day. It's like a super fun, almost pep rally style event where right at the beginning of the school year, folks know that it's important to us and that they should be getting registered by the deadline and voting before or on election day.
And one of the things that our president, Dr. Guy Generals, has instituted, we actually are off on election day. A lot of colleges are not closed, but CCP is closed because he really wants to encourage people to get out there and to vote and to exercise your voice, like Michelle was saying. But most importantly, he wants to make voting easy and accessible. And so by removing the barrier of having to go to work or things like that, we truly want to put voting and our students' voices in the forefront. And we have a president that has truly championed that.
Well, that's a 4.0 in civic participation, right?
We think so.
Can you describe any partnerships or collaborations with external organizations that support voter engagement on campus?
I'll start and then I'll give it to Michelle. First and foremost, Committee of 70. You guys have been absolutely rock stars with us, literally trying to explore how can we get students to register for class and register to vote simultaneously. I think it is genius, and I'm hoping that we can get that one done. The elected officials, it is almost overwhelming the amount of love that CCP receives from our elected officials. Some of our students you'll find on the Parker transition team, in your council offices, in your state rep offices. It is just Commissioner Sabir and Commissioner Dealey. They are complete partners. So we have such strong partnerships and people really eager to partner with the college. But, I just want to say on behalf of Dr. Generals and CCP, thank you to Committee of 70. You always include us in all that you do. Michelle, did I miss anybody that you're closer on the ground?
Yeah, I can name a few more. I also want to give it up to Committee of 70. We promote the build your own ballot tool. There's it's the best option. I mean, we really feel that it's the easiest way to like get folks to understand who's on the ballot, and ensure that they're making those informed decisions. So I just wanted to make sure I shouted that out as well. But in addition to that, we actually, as I mentioned, we have some fellowships and some internships as well that Jasmine mentioned that we recruit for. So 2 of them are with 2 national organizations, the Campus Vote Project and then Civic Influencers. And so students have the ability to receive a small stipend for their time. And then with that time, they receive training and professional development all around civic initiatives and understanding like how to get out the vote and encouraging their peers to do the same thing. So with that, we work with those students as these fellows. And again, we have weekly team meetings with students, and they help us and we help them sort of earn some hours with their time. But those are, with those 2 organizations. And then as Jasmine mentioned, City Commissioner's Office as well. We've had interns be part of their programming every year. And so we really value those partnerships, and those students work closely with our office to get the programming done.
What are the primary motivations and beliefs driving your students' participation and interest in voting?
Let me know, Jasmine.
You go. I know from the administration side what drives us.
Yeah, so I mean, I would just say, in speaking with students and like, now that we've had the program for a few years and sort of trying to assess where students are with those sorts of things, we think about the issues that are affecting the city that they live in. And so they are often just trying to figure out like, how can they make a change? And we try to share with them that one of the easiest ways to do that is through voting. And so issues that rise to the top for our students, I would say that have come up a lot throughout this year and, many years really since we've been doing it, is gun violence. Homelessness also seems to be at the top of that as well, drug overuse. And so they are, just trying to figure out ways that they can better understand, the politics of our city and how to make a difference. And I think they see that, us promoting voting is a way for them to make changes about those issues. One of the ways, at least.
And just to piggy off back of what Michelle said, we are the city's college, right? So when you talk about a community college of Philadelphia student, most of them are residents of Philadelphia, meaning these issues, it's not, hey, I'm going to school for 6 months and I'm going back to Ohio or Chicago. They go to school here, they work here, they live here. So these issues affect them in a different way as opposed to other universities and colleges around our city. So I do feel, I could be biased, and probably Michelle is too, but I feel like our students are the most civically engaged. Our president is extreme, like that is a huge thing for him. Go out and vote, be part of the process, get your voice heard. It's baked into our culture.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I was going to share, Jasmine, maybe this will come up in another question, but I think that one of the most recent sort of like, we have our new Cato Scholarship Program, relatively new still. And, being part of the Octavius V. Cato task force with the city commissioner's office, like I feel like his life and legacy also, I feel like we work through his legacy, and I think our students are really grasping onto that, and I think always just spreading the message that like so many people have fought for the right to vote. And so ensuring that we're that we are utilizing our right to vote, and really empowering students in that way. So I just wanted to add that because I feel like that's been part of the culture change as well.
Are there any campus-led educational programs or events that aim to inform students about the voting process and civic responsibilities?
That is literally Michelle's whole world. Take it away, Michelle.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it in the beginning. We try to acknowledge or celebrate all the civic holidays. So for us, that's kicking off the year with National Voter Registration Day. And that's an opportunity for students to learn about different resources that the city provides. Obviously have the opportunity to vote. We get the city commissioner to come out. We get our mascot to come out. We have the 76ers drum line out there to really get folks excited to to vote and to get registered to vote. So that's a main event that we do every academic year. And then we ensure that we are hosting voter registration tables multiple times a week. And doing classroom presentations. So getting in front of students while they're in the classroom, really talking about the importance of voting. In addition to that, we have, I would say, even a marketing campaign that goes out, an email marketing campaign. So there are communications throughout the campus, on our college screens, in folks' emails, that's sharing the deadlines, the deadline to get registered, the deadline for your mail-in ballot, the date to vote, acknowledging that we're off that day so that folks can make a plan to get out the vote. So it's a really, comprehensive way that we are trying to get the message out to our students through events, being present on campus, electronically being present, doing things like this today. All of that is important to us. And yeah, that's, I would say in a nutshell, that's what it looks like.
I would also say, we say voting and then what, right? So we take students to Harrisburg City Council. Every time there's an elected official on our campus, we make sure to bring them over to the Civic Institute so that they can interact with our elected officials and see what their vote is actually doing, right? What are some of the policies and legislations that they need to advocate for? I think that our students have uniquely grasped onto that. Like, yes, they vote, but they also know what happens after you vote because they're engaged in that legislative process as well.
Yeah, then that's a really good point. I think a partnership that I failed to mention earlier, we have a workshop series that we do with federal and local and state judges, and it's called Civics Beyond the Classroom. And so on Monday evenings, it's happening right now in the fall semester, judges are in front of our students and talking about the Constitution and providing them context around historical cases that have really changed the shape of our country. So those are the things that, again, we are doing, ongoing. Those things don't stop. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
Have there been any significant changes or innovations in the Get Out the Vote efforts in recent years?
I can take so there is a newer initiative I would say that we've been doing that I find that's innovative with our Junior STEM Academy. We have a program that engages middle school students, 6th to 8th graders primarily, and with that, the past couple of years, we've been doing these sort of challenges with specific middle schools who want to engage in the program, where they're creating these worlds. And so these Minecraft worlds, and then they vote on their favorite Minecraft world, but the Minecraft world always has a theme around it. So this past one was directly tied to how do you make the best world or a better world than the one we live in today. So the 6th to 8th graders got to vote on that. They had to register before they could vote. And so we've been practicing that and trying to engage our Philly public schools around this as well, but in different ways, in ways that they might understand better, rather than bringing in politics, that sort of thing, but a way to make it fun and engaging. And then with that, we present to them the things that we do at Community College of Philadelphia, and how that really relates to what they're doing in their program. So that's called I Vote Day. And so that's something we do we've been doing it the past 2 years, the day before Election Day. So we just held it yesterday. So I would say that's a fairly newer and innovative thing. And I think Jasmine mentioned this earlier, we're off today, which still feels very new for the college. So having off on Election Day so that students can prioritize getting out the vote, I would say are some of the newer innovations that we've been.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I was going to say that, like, just having off, that was like a COVID thing that even when we came back, it was like, well, no, we're going to continue that. But honestly, like, Michelle is so humble. Dude, CCP votes, she is underselling CCP votes. You walk in that lobby and it is like being in a carnival, a voting booth, all of the fanfare around voting. And, as somebody that is a super voter, I've been voting with my grandmother, my parents, just making voting extremely accessible and fun is an innovation, right? And Michelle and her team do such a wonderful job of really connecting what it means to vote and how that affects our students. But just the whole rally of CCP votes, like you cannot help but get swept up in it. And you're kind of like, what is this? You know what I mean? Okay, let me go register to vote. And I have seen it with my own eyes. That to me is just like super innovative. Like, yeah, people will always tell you, go get out the vote, go vote. It's important to vote. Michelle and her team have really taken that to the next level. I mean, that rally, I can't say enough things. Michelle, no, that is my favorite day of CCP. Is CCP Votes Day and National Voter Registration. I love it.
Where do you think the future of civic engagement on your campus lies? Or is going, I guess is the right phraseology.
Do you want to take that? Or?
I'll start. I definitely feel like sky's the limit for us. It is so rare to have an environment where someone's saying, I just want as many students to vote as possible, make it happen. And everybody from the administration on down is firing on all cylinders, whether it's Law and Society Week, CCP vote, like it is just in our culture. So I really feel like the sky's the limit. I definitely feel like having Commissioner Sabir really and Commissioner Dealey like really embrace the college. You know, I remember back in 2020, we had like new voting machines. We were some of the first to like show the students, here's the voting machine. Right. So I believe those trends will continue. Michelle, do you have any fun plans coming up for 2024? You know, it might be a big year for elections.
Yeah, no, for sure it will be. And I think that I'm excited, you know, Jasmine as the Chief Engagement Officer, I think we've been collaborating a lot too. And to continue the culture and I think that I only see it being infused more and more, you know, potentially maybe creating some more service opportunities around it, service learning. I think that we're always open for new partnerships. So sometimes we see where those partnerships take us with this kind of work. So we're always excited about that. But I think that, you know, we're always getting new students in and really trying to reach, you know, that younger demographic is important to us. And ensuring that, you know, we're in front of our students, you know, at all times. I think that won't stop. I mean, for me, it's like getting anyone who's eligible to vote registered and voting on election day. So that's the goal. And that's what we'll continue to do with that, you know, the forefront of what we do.
Well, thanks for joining us today and for your important and hard work. How many people do you think you want to register to vote in 2024? Or excuse me, how many students would you like to register to vote in 2024?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let's be
Anybody who's
aspirational.
not registered, all new incoming students potentially who aren't registered. You know, we have a good amount of folks already registered, which is wonderful. So really reaching the students who might be newer and maybe did not get registered before attending the college, I think would be a good priority for us. But definitely any eligible, you know, student that could be registered, we want to register them. So
thanks for your good work and thanks for joining us today. We're so grateful that you were here. Take care and get some rest.
Happy Super Bowl to you, Clarissa, and Committee of 70 team.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Bye.
Thank you so much for having us. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.